Hi everyone, A Loving Soul here, hope this video finds you well. Today we're going to be looking at the Turbo Duel Grand Prix event. This is a PvP or player versus player event with a twist. Instead of regular duels, we're going to be playing card games on motorcycles. This is a rerun of the event, so I won't go too deep into the details, but be sure to check it out. There's a bunch of gems available for just playing some games, as well as a card lottery and Turbo Duel rank up system. Alright, they're back. The deck we'll be showcasing in our Turbo Duels today is going to be our good old Cyberdark deck, also known as the Structure Deck Salad, as it's got a little bit of everything in here. This is a fun deck for free-to-play players as there is no paywall. It plays a little bit differently every game, but you can get every single card here with gems alone. So the idea of the deck is to poke the opponent's life points directly by using Cyberdark Edge's effect. It halves its attack, but you can attack directly. You can attach a cannon to your Cyberdark Edge as long as this cannon is in the graveyard, and that's going to boost your Cyberdark Edge's attack to 2400. So you're going to be poking for 1200. But the second effect of cannon is that you get the ability to mill a card from your deck to the graveyard. So you're going to be milling positive effects like Lang Ling. Lang Ling is essentially a cannon on steroids. It's going to set your Edge's attack to 2500 and you're going to get the ability to swing twice. This is often how you're going to be closing out your games. The other positive effects that you can mill from your deck are cards like Bacon Saver, the ability to negate an attack, or AD Changer to change a card from attack to defense position or vice versa. We're also running the Neos Fusion package, so we only have our one copy of Neos Fusion. The buddies here are going to be obviously Elemental Hero Neos, as well as Keeper of Dragon Magic. The idea of Neos Fusion is to give the deck a second boss monster, as well as get more cards into the graveyard, like the aforementioned Lang Ling, Bacon Saver, and AD Changer. And finally, we have the final piece of the structured deck trio. We're going to have the Blast Spider as well as Desperado Barrel Dragon. They're just a little bit of spice there, gives you another boss monster and whatnot. The rest of the back row is pretty much up to you. I just think I want cards that really slow down the pace of the game and really stall the opponents. So cards like Enemy Controller, you could also Econ Take for cheese, or cards that flip down and just slow them down. So Paleozoic Canadia, as well as these Floodgate Trap Holes. The extra deck doesn't really matter, but you definitely need the copies of the Neos Fusions. I just have one of both, and the rest is just a bunch of filler cards. Sometimes you might do an Enemy Controller Take play, you get a tuner, you can, synchro summon these cards. And the skill we're playing is the Tie That Binds. Keep in mind you are limited to 5Ds players for this event. I just wanted to go with Yusei Fudo, and the Tie That Binds doesn't quite hurt, it's just a little bit of extra damage. Now here's where the fun part of Turbo Duels come in. So you get to choose your EX skill, which is represented by a duel runner from the anime, and that the way that these skills work is that there is a speed counter system in Turbo Duels. You build them up during your standby phase as well as when you normal or synchro summon a monster, and you can trade in those speed counters for different effects. We're running Jack Atlas's dual runner, the Phoenix Whirlwind, and I was mostly interested in this because the Cyberdark deck wants to keep getting chip damage and poke your opponent's life points by attacking directly, and we have easy ways to boost attack. For 5 counters you get a 400 attack boost, and for 8 counters you get a 1000 attack boost. And as a last resort, sometimes you want to just slow down the pace of the game. You can remove 10 to destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls. And that's pretty much it. Let's get into the replays. Alrighty, let's start with these replays. We're going second, so we're just gonna start up by setting up with our Keeper Dragon Magic. This is gonna get us our Neos Fusion ready. We also have a cannon, and we can get rid of that and trade it in for an edge for next turn. We can't summon the edge obviously because we used our normal summon for Keeper. But we have a pretty solid board here. We're also going to be able to set down our Floodgate and boost up with the Tie That Binds. We swing over and see the White Stone of Ancients, so we know our opponent's playing Blue Eyes. We don't get to swing with our Neos because we get the Majesty of Eyes of Blue, so essentially our Neos is stuck there for the rest of the game. And we'll see what we can do with that. Our opponent does get that Blue Eyes out because of that White Stone of Ancients. He's going to swing, but we negate it with Bacon Saver. We're going to go ahead and get our edge, and we're going to use the theme of the deck is to get that chip damage. We're going to go swing over that Blue Eyes with Edge's effect. But I do want to swing into the face down, but it's another White Stone of Ancients, so he's going to get another Blue Eyes in a little bit. There it is, the second Blue Eyes, but we do have that face down Floodgate, and we're going to flip it face down, stay face down for the rest of the game. Our opponent's going to use his speed spell Trickster, remove 10 counters, and he's going to draw 2. He's going to also add back a Blue Eyes by banishing his White Stone of Ancients in the graveyard. And he actually uses Polymerization here. And he's going to get out the OG Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. That's a 4500 attack beat stick. I didn't expect this. He's also going to use Beatdown, go up to 4800. He's going to swing into our edge. We are protected because we have a cannon and we get an extra draw from the deck. We're actually going to use our own speed spell, remove 10 counters in order to pop that Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and we're going to get ready to end the game here. Since our Neos can attack, we're just going to use it to tribute summon our Desperado Barrel Dragon. Usually don't do this, usually special summon it when one of your dark monsters is destroyed, but this works perfectly fine, and we're going to close out this game. Okie doke, so this replay is going to be more of a PSA of what to look out for if you want to play this sort of Cyberdark style. I am going to spoil it a bit. We are playing against one of the new decks from the main box Judgment Force. We're going to be playing against Lightsworn. So turn 1, we're going to set up with Neos Fusion, get our usual board, and get an edge on the board. But the main PSA here is that they have ways to counteract our main game plan, which is to do that chip damage and poke. Our opponent is going to use Cosmic Cyclone, so it's going to get them down to 3000, so a little bit easier for our game plan in order just to get that direct damage in. But I'm going to just sort of like skip over a bit. Opponent's doing some plays with Light Swords and whatnot. They're going to get a Synchro Summon off. They're going to get out their Michael. Michael's one of their boss monsters. His effect is that he can pay 1000 life points in order to banish one of our monsters. Our Neos can't really defend against that, unfortunately. We're going to draw a bit, and the Michael's going to mill. Notice that he has a Bacon Saver in the graveyard, pretty much what we like doing with our deck as well, so he's going to be able to negate one of our attacks. So here, my thought process is that I can boost up and try to get some chip damage in order to close out the game. I know he has a Bacon Saver, but I didn't expect him to have Kiteroid in hand, and Kiteroid's a big annoyance for our deck because he essentially negates, 2 swings, and that's like another hurdle we have to get across. Our opponent's going to do some plays, and he's going to just set up, he's going to try to banish and swing, but we had our Bacon Saver, maybe he didn't see that, and they surrendered. So this game was more of a PSA. You're going to have to try to get in that chip damage, but it might be negated by a Bacon Saver or a Kiteroid, but keep in mind that Lightsworn has to pay like 1000 life points usually for any of their effects, like Michael like you saw earlier, or their other boss monster, which is Judgment Dragon. Okay, so this final replay is going to show you an example of a long grindy game. Sometimes things aren't always going to go as planned, but I want to show that with the right resources, you can slowly chip out your opponents and still win the game. So let's get started. We are going second, but we have our usual Neos Fusion setup. We're going to get out that Neos Fusion, get a Bacon Saver into the graveyard, just for a backup plan. And that Bacon Saver is going to be MVP. I normal summon this Ling Ling just because I want it in the grave as soon as possible. We're going to boost up. We see another White Stone of Vengeance, so it's going to be Blue Eyes again. Our opponent flips up Dimensional Present, which banishes, and usually you can't protect against that as a Neos player, but we're going to negate our own attack with Bacon Saver in order to protect Neos, which I thought was super cool. Opponent gets out his Blue Eyes, he's going to use his Speed Spell to just get a little boost, swing in, but we're protecting with Neos Fusion. We get our boss monster, which is that Desperado Barrel Dragon. Gonna get that edge out, and I'm gonna use some of my speed counters in order to boost by 400, I believe. Combine that with Ties That Bind, and I want to swing over. I did not expect for there to be a wall disruption, so I do lose my Neos. I'm gonna get only a little bit of chip damage, 650 to the opponent with our edge. It's not looking great for us. Our opponent boosts again with his speed spell, but we're going to make this play to tribute summon our Desperado Barrel Dragon. I didn't feel very comfortable with those 2 0 attack monsters, which is why I did that. I'm just going to swing over because there's no back row, and I knew it was a Blue Eyes, so we could swing over it. But the game plan in my head is, now that I know he's playing like back row, like Wall of Disruption, as well as Dimensional Prison, I'm just going to sit on this Desperado Barrel Dragon and grind him out. He's going to do some setup with Keeper Dragon Magic. He has Polymerization, and he's going to go ahead and use his second effect in order to get out a Blue Eyes. And we also see another Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which I really didn't expect to see so much of that today. He sets a bunch of back row, so I'm kind of scared. I know he's running Wall of Disruption, so I'm not going to swing with my Desperado Barrel Dragon. I'm going to try to poke. He flips up the Wallity. I get a little bit of chip. I'm going to flip some coins and pop that Keeper Dragon Magic. Bye-bye. And we're going to swing again because we had access to Ling Ling. So my game plan right now, I'm just going to slowly chip you out. It doesn't matter if I only do like a little bit of damage, I'm going to eventually win. Floodgate, flip that blue eyes face down for the rest of the game, and we're going to do the same game plan. We're just going to keep trying to chip. His Dimensional Prison this time around, so bye-bye my edge, but we're still like okay because we have this Desperado Barrel Dragon on board. Dragon Spirit of White comes out, we threaten to flip it face down, but he's going to use his special second effect to send it to grave in order to get the blue eyes from hand out onto the board. Doesn't really matter here, we're going to flip. We do get a little lucky here, we flip a 3, so we just get an extra card. If you didn't know, if you flip 3 heads, you get a draw. He's going to get another fresh blue eyes out here. Here's a very cool combo play we're going to make. We're going to boost up with Ties That Bind, and we're going to pay 8 speed counters in order to get the 1000 attack boost. And then we're going to use the second effect of Blast Spider, so we're going to pop this blue eyes, and then we get the burn damage, so we burn for 1500. So even though our opponent had a Wall of Disruption, we had just enough damage to close out the game. So that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed these replays. They're probably not the most competitive, but I really wanted to showcase some Turbo Duel content on the channel while this event is still around. I'll probably revisit this before the event ends. If you enjoyed this sort of content and you want to see more card game content in either Duel Links or any other digital card game, feel free to subscribe or leave a comment. It really helps out the channel. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck in this Turbo Duel Grand Prix event as well as in life. Until next time, peace.